As almost anyone knows, the LEGO Group has been one of the leading toy makers in the world for decades. Anyone can look at a plastic brick and just automatically say that's LEGO. It's like looking at a hot tub and calling it a jacuzzi. There was a time though that LEGO was on the brink of bankruptcy and quickly losing their grip on their well-known title of greatest toy maker of all time. Then there was a LEGO theme released in the early 2000s that everyone agrees upon as the toy line that saved LEGO, and it brought them back into the limelight, that theme being Bionicle. Now you may be thinking, I clicked on this video to learn more about Throwbots. Why are you talking about this? This isn't what I paid for. I want my money back. Alright, just stick with me here. While I totally agree that Bionicle quickly became one of the kingpin of toys for about a decade, let's talk about the toy line that actually saved LEGO. I'm talking about LEGO Throwbots. It's more commonly referred to as Slizer, because reasons. I don't know, LEGO has a weird fetish for giving different names to the same theme. Any hoosers. The year is 1998. LEGO is in the throes of uncontrolled innovation, literally spitting out anything that looks like a toy. Their biggest competitors, Mattel and Hasbro, have a cornerstone in one of the most profitable toy lines ever, action figures. You know, action figures make such great toys because they can be played with in so many ways. They provide the battle that kids crave and come along with great storytelling opportunities. But LEGO doesn't make action figures. They make bricks. So the challenge they face now is, how the hell do you turn LEGO bricks into an action figure? The development team smashed their heads together and came up with some interesting returns. First, they needed to find a way to make posable characters. So they moved away from the standard bricks, for obvious reasons, and looked into Technic. Yeah, smart. Why not use something that's already got the right stuff for building robots and whatnot? The only problem was, there wasn't much available for movement outside of axles and gears. While they work in most cases, it makes for a hard time to make things move more freely. This is where the design team came up with the ball and socket pieces. Let's just take a moment here to truly appreciate this. Think about it. Without these two pieces, some of our favorite sets of all time would not be here today. Yep, the ball and socket now allowed for the appendages to articulate more freely and more naturally, while still holding strong and keeping the toy stable. Using this new functionality opened up the creative box for these developers to really make something work. With that issue out of the way, next they needed characters and stories to tell. This is where Chris Faber comes into play. You may recognize him as the guy that made Bionicle. While he was one of the key developers in creating the artwork, story, and more from Bionicle, he also had a big helping hand in creating Throwbots. Initially, his idea was around creatures he called Cybots. He even went pretty far to create a storyline and how they would fit in with other themes. Unfortunately, this was before the ball and socket parts were invented, so this project really never came to fruition, simply because the functionality wasn't there. I mean, there was probably more to it, but I'm going with that. Later in 1998, when the ball and socket became available, this was a perfect setting for Faber to come up with a new story, new characters, and help design something fresh and cool. Now, with the new available parts and Faber's mind full of creative solution, comes the Throwbots. Each Throwbot is tied to a specific, let's say, environmental theme? I can't say elemental because we have some of the standard you'd expect like fire and ice, but we also get some oddballs like sub and city. Like, what? I can understand sub. I mean, why not just call it water or something? But city? What's that supposed to relate to? Garbage truck? Mailman? The real answer being that it collected radioactive fuel to give him the strength to fight enemies, but you know, the story was essentially this. Planet Slizer, from thousands of light years away, has two factions, and is divided into several different environments. Seeing the similarities yet? Yep. The good bots being fire, ice, city, and sub, they can all merge into a big super Slizer. And then there's the bad bots being jungle, rock, energy, and judge? Really? Judge? They combine to create the Mega Slizer. I'm getting some Mighty Morphin Power Rangers vibes here. Each of them has a goal. Search for a power source that'll make him stronger than the other guy. That's pretty much the gist of this. I mean, there's probably a lot more to that story, but that's what you need to know. It's a pretty simple story, right? But it's acceptable nonetheless. As you've seen by now, each Throwbot was designed using a Technic-based body using a mix of Technic parts with some of those newly designed parts like the ball and socket. This allows for the greater posability. More interestingly though was the disc throwing mechanism. Each Throwbot was equipped with a unique arm that could hold and launch discs. This feature was central to the playability of the figures, and showcased a fresh attempt at combining traditional building with actionable parts. Man, I wonder how many eyes suffered the wrath of these little frisbees. Each figure had a distinctive mask, which was an obvious forerunner to the iconic Kanoe masks of their brethren. Sorry if I said that wrong. Don't crucify me. These gave each Throwbot some character and a unique identity to help in the overall aesthetic of the features. While the Throwbots didn't enjoy a wild success like their descendants, it was more of a testing ground for what would eventually become Bionicle. LEGO never intended this theme to be a long-term success, but rather a short-term theme that would rapidly morph into another. After its short life, it was replaced with the next edition of action figures, Robo Riders. This theme lived a very similar life with some unique designs and playstyles. And if you're interested, we'll get into that one another time. In 2001, the Bionicle theme finally launched, bringing with it many ideas and innovations they learned from Throwbots. You can see the similarities in character design with the masks and unique play features. Bionicle expanded upon the storyline with the Throwbots. They made it more intricate, giving each character, well, more character. And they got rid of that weird environmental thing and just stuck with elements. The Throwbots line isn't spoken of very much, as it's often overshadowed by its much more successful cousin, but it did play a crucial role in the evolution of LEGO's product offerings. It demonstrated that there was actually a market for LEGO action figures, and its powerful storytelling. Throwbots was truly a groundbreaking theme that set the stage for success. Because of the innovations brought to life through this theme, LEGO was truly saved by this line. They just didn't know it yet. And that's the brief story about Throwbots, or Slizer for some of you. There's a lot more fun and interesting facts about this theme, and I encourage you to go digging into the past. You'll learn interesting things like this. Can you imagine having a vending machine like this? It was designed to have the sets and canisters that you could get straight out of the vending machine, making the product more versatile and available in areas you wouldn't typically expect to see LEGO. Cool, right? Anyways, do the liking and the subscribing stuff if you liked what you saw today. And if you're interested in learning more about another theme, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, be good, be kind,